I liked Mop Remix, a lot, so I had a bunch of fresh 70s sitting around. Eventually, I thought I'd level one of them to the War Within max of 80, using only Gathering in the new zones. In this case, Mining and Herbalism. Because Gathering, naturally, I chose a Druid. How did it go? First up, the time requirement. Of note, I had one other 80 at this point, giving us an extra 5% experience. As I said, I leveled this character to 70 in Mop Remix, which took about 8.5 hours. When we hit max level, we were at almost exactly 23 hours /played. This puts us at a rough 14.5-ish hours from 70 to 80. I was also doing this somewhat casually, and took a massive break for a few months in between the start and the end. Gathering the nodes was actually pretty efficient. I wasn't wandering around for very long in the field to get from node to node, and was getting a decent chunk of XP every time, even when I wasn't rested. At least, the bar moved visibly with each collection, which helped motivate in actually finishing this. I just had some green profession gear from the auction house for both professions. Nothing special trait-wise. Full greens for each spec, only like half of it was even rank 5. I think most of it was rank 3 between the two professions. Wrong! Anyways, let's talk profession specs. I had no real idea what I was doing here, to be honest. Just warning you all in advance, this might be suboptimal. Please let me know how you would have planned these specs out. I had no idea what I was doing. First up, Herbalism. For Herbalism, I maxed out Bountiful Harvests first, and then put 10 points into Cultivation for the perception bonus on herbs, I think. Then, rather than continuing to get as much perception as possible, which might have been good, I specialized heavily into Myco Bloom and Lure Drop. I straight up maxed both of these out for some reason. Mining is a similar interesting story. 50 points into the basic plethora of ore tree, then a hard spec into Acurite, 23 points into mining fundamentals, and 5 into mastering the mysterious, leaving a huge chunk of 60 perception on the table from just a few more points in the mining fundamentals tree. Oops. I did most of this before I took a considerable break, and I think it is probably not the correct way to allocate those points. Again, somebody please give me some advice. I'll reevaluate now that I'm 80, and there's apparently a reset available. Now for the thing you're probably actually here to see. What did I get for all this time spent? With those creative specializations, we picked a grand total of 2,023 herbs. Mostly Myco Bloom and Lure Drop, as you could probably expect, but decent numbers of the other ones as well. For rare drops in Herbalism, we also got 57 Viridescent Spores, 45 Leyline Residue, and 29 Null Lotus. As far as mining, we pulled a grand total of 2,195 ore. And then for mining rare drops, we got 7 Imperfect Nullstone, 8 Nullstone, and 112 rank 1 Weaver Cloth from webbed nodes. Just tidying up, there were a few rare drops that could have come from both or either mining or herbalism. I'm listing them here. 68 Writhing Sample, which could have come from either Altered Herb or Weeping Ore, and 156 Crystalline Powder from crystallized versions of ore or herbs, and 180 Artisan's Acuity that I couldn't tell you where I got it from. I did that before my long break. Oh, and we also got 15 Verdant Seeds for Herbalism, or at least that's what's left. I believe I planted some while I was grinding, but honestly there were so many herbs just out and about it wasn't necessary, and I stopped doing it. So now what? I've got a fresh 80 now in trash gear that I don't know how to play. Luckily, Blizzard has introduced this handy one-button interface for morons like me. Maybe that will have to be my next video. If you're interested to see how the noob combo does for me, please stick around. You could even subscribe if you hadn't to make sure you get to see it. Hint hint. Alright, later.